Everyone, welcome to my channel, and thank you for your patience and your beautiful messages I received from you guys while I've taken longer days and weeks off. My family and I, we moved to different locations, plus I have my parents visiting from Israel. On top of everything, what's happened in Ukraine, it's not easy, especially, for us, we have friends and family and my very close and students and clients who are in Ukraine right now. And it's really, I hope we're all sending our prayers to both nations, to Russia and Ukraine, because both nations need tremendous healing and awakening for all of us, actually, for the whole entire world. Today's video, I want to dedicate to one of my favorite planets. It's Saturn. I'm going to create two parts. This first part of this video will go in full explanation what is going to happen for the next couple months. And it's very, very important period of time for us to understand the energy of the Saturn. And then I will explain my second part of the video. I will give information for all 12 signs so you guys can tune more specific to your own energy from your own natal chart. Okay, so where I want us to begin? Today is July 13, and today, last night, Saturn actually moved to new sign, to actually back to his own sign, to Capricorn. And why it's so important. So just for us to understand where he's coming from, right? So in April 29 to July 12, exactly until yesterday, Saturn was in Aquarius. So the way how it works, he moved to sign for a short period of time before he's going to be stationary there for much longer. Then he's back again to the previous sign to reevaluate things in order to move forward again to Aquarius. What's really happening here and how for us to prepare? I'm going to right away say the most important day of this year for us to prepare, which can really help with our tikkun process, with our incarnation, our correction, why we came to this dimension in the first place. It's October 23rd. So when Saturn retrogrades, and like what's happening on October 23rd, he's going to be stationary. It's going to be a very, very important day for all of us. And he's going to right now give us even more harsh and direct lessons than he actually started even before. So let's understand in a nutshell what is really Saturn. Okay, Saturn in Hebrew, it's called Shabtai. And Shabtai, as well as represents Saturday, it represents Shabbat. And it's a gassy planet, very icy, and it's really associated with the time, regulation, restriction. Saturn symbolizes hard work, simple people. It's about professional achievements. One of the reasons he's actually represent a Capricorn, and it's represent really resilience. And when it's really given the hard lessons, Saturn, he can give us really unemotional. He doesn't have really emotions than how we understand those emotions here on this dimension. It's really giving us lessons through more difficult challenge. And through this planet, we can really understand things through different lessons than we cannot understand in any other way. So Saturn does he does represent our best interest in mind. We should really, really understand this. And it simply wants us to play by the rules of creation. And again, because he governs Capricorn, it's it's enterprise earth sign, like really down to earth. Everything would represent Malchut and will really represent Malchut on very tachlis, bottom line level. And it's really have a tireless emotions, really no emotions, and takes approximately 2.5 years to transit from one sign to another sign. It's in altogether, it goes through the retrogrades cycle. It's taken 140 years. So it's really taken the time. Okay, so this is why we need to understand in our natal chart, we really start to feel Saturn energy, and he challenges us really until age 36, 38. It really depends on what sign he is. And really from age 42, when we start to learn our lessons, Saturn really start to give us a lot of benefits. Okay, and again, it's all about power of restriction, the uncomfortable truth we don't really like to face. And this is what Saturn, is the best teacher, is the best guru, helping us to understand. And is helping us to go through the next level, to fix and to work on our klipot. Remember, klipot in Hebrew, it's negative shelves. It's connector incarnation process. What we brought from our past and what we came to this world, this lifetime, to work on it. Something it's making us resist aggressively, are to showing us our loops, where we don't really want to sometimes look on our own with the free will. So it's he makes sure we to give us really heavy lessons, and he's our best teacher. Like I said, we really need to appreciate Saturn and his lessons. And now then Saturn use his own energy and power while his own sign exaltation in Capricorn. Okay, so what's really happening on October 23rd and October 24th? This is the 2 days, and even October 22nd. I really want you guys to put in your calendars October 22nd, 23rd, 24th, if possible for you, not to travel, not to make any important decisions. This is the days where we literally right now, from this moment, we actually start to work prior in 2000 when he moved initially to Saturn, right? And especially, I have to tell you, for those of us then actually have science, uh, if you have rising Capricorn, or if you have rising Aquarius, Gemini, and Sagittarius, you guys, they felt his energy and his heavy lessons really more than any other signs, especially from January 2000. Okay, so right now, what he's gonna do for us, he just think about, he's coming back again next time Saturn come back to sign of Capricorn in 28 years. So it's about in 2049. So he wants to make sure that he completed his job now, because for the next 28 years he's not going to be there. So this is the time right now, because when Saturn stationary, this is when he's really become powerful, and he's literally this is like exam. We're going to have exams on 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. We really need to be prepared, guys, because it's really, really important. Usually I don't like really to I'm not here to scare you, so to say, but I really want you to be aware and to bring you awareness about this window of time right now, what's happening. Because Saturn, he's aware he's not going to give us this lesson for next 28 years in the sign of Capricorn. He really wants us right now to, for this period of time, when we arrive on the time when he was stationed, before he's going to move and prepare to move back to Aquarius. He's going to give us right now a lot of lessons, like I told you right now, right? So you will try to come back to, if you will try, for example, I'll give you example. If you will try to come back to whatever previously worked for you, to your old habits that actually didn't really serve you, but it was so known to you and comfortable, and you're planning to do things in business and to talk to people a certain way, how you used to, Saturn will make sure to give you very harsh lessons before he turns back to Aquarius. And believe me, you don't want your old self when he's finally in Aquarius. Because what's happened, the planet of, what is the Aquarius? Before we earn to come back to be with Saturn in Aquarius, because Aquarius is the planet of humanity, kindness, progress, the energy of out of jail, out of box thinker. It's a really sign of Mashiach, Messiah, final redemption. You don't want to bring your old habits, your so to say slave depending consciousness, on the good luck mentality, on the free ride, you really need to face your other side and to be very clear and getting more and more real with yourself, because the time of the final redemption, Mashiach, what Kabbalists explain, what is the time of final redemption, the time of Mashiach, Messiah, the time of collective consciousness, it's already here. It's called the war of Gog and Magog, war of thoughts, is really up on us right now, the war of consciousness. And this is so interesting. Before we can earn our time in 2023, and really we're not going to lose ourselves in 2023. He's really giving us right now extra opportunity, tools to really face different reality. It will impact this period of time will impact financial market, government, legal structure. The next winter will be a little bit cooler because the Saturn, it's icy planet, and when it's a station, and when it's going to be in retrograde, special close between Capricorn and Aquarius, he's going to give us a little bit cooler weather, and he's getting much closer to the Earth when he's actually stationary and when he retrograde. Okay, so we're going to feel his icy nature in every possible way. So let's check the degree. It's start happening right now, and then what's happening in October 23rd. So let's look at today. So today, it's really, really important to understand this seed, right? The seed, when planets start move to different sign, she needs to go through 29 degree because it's going against clockwise, right? Remember, lunar nodes south node and north node, and Rahu in Ketu, they only planetary, it's not even planetary, the energetical force with the moon going through the clockwise, this one going against clockwise. So we will look at right now in 29 degrees in Capricorn. In 29 degrees in Capricorn, really it's energy of nebulous. It's instability. It's a heavy energy. I have to tell you, you probably already start to feel. Then it's much more heavy than before. Plus, today it's 12. Today it's 13, 14, almost of Tammuz, and we're few days before 13 of Tammuz. We're few days before full moon as well. So it's definitely not helping us. And as well, Saturn in same house with Pluto, and we're getting moon gonna pass a transition through the Pluto. Okay, so for the next even few days, you will understand a little bit more heavy energy. I want us right now to move sky to October 23rd, so you will see as well what's going to happen on October 23rd. Let me refresh. Okay, so on October 23rd, it's going to be in the 24th degree, and as well, he's going to be still in the same house with Pluto, so we're going to feel it as well. Plus, what else happening? It's a few days. It's going to be 27th of Tishrei, few days before new moon. Sorry, I'm sitting in my office outside in solarium, so you probably can hear some noise from outside. My apologies. Plus, we're going to have Venus conjunct Sun. She's going to be invisible. And we're going to have Mercury retrograde at that period of time. We're going to have Mars retrograde period of time. Remember, when Mars retrograde, he's not showing his best side. And this, until this end of the October, we're going to feel his energy really in full intense extent. Okay, so this is what's going to happen. So let's back again to now. And what I'm going to do, guys, before I'm going to explain to you my next video about the 12 signs, I want us to listen to my amazing teacher, Rav Berg, one of the best Kabbalists of the 20th century. He's not longer in 21st century as well. He's not longer with us in this dimension, but he's still helping us like every other Kabbalist who achieved such a high understanding of this dimension. I really want us to listen to his words. It's only 8 minutes. But I do recommend to listen a few times. If you're new to my channel and the terminology Kabbalistic and new to Kabbalah and the terminology really new to you, what I'm going to do after this short video of my teacher, I'm going to explain few points what my teacher was explaining, and then you can listen to this video again. And then the second part, second video, I'm going to explain about how it's going to affect this transition in 12 different signs. Okay, guys, so let's begin.
To put the energy and tone into the lecture, we will always begin with the reading of the Zohar itself in the Aramaic, because by injecting the reading of the Zohar, whether we even couldn't even read it or we don't understand the word that the Zohar itself is stating, that is unimportant, because, as you know, the power of the alphabet, which contains all of the potential energy that one can ever wish or desire to acquire, is already potentially included within the Hebrew letters and words of the Aramaic language. At the moment that an individual comes into this world, when he's born, miyad izdamen ba'adye yetzer hara. At the moment of birth, he immediately is infused with a thought energy intelligence of yetzer hara. Now, of course, we understand yetzer hara refers to this thought energy intelligence of desire to receive. In other words, until age 12 of a female or age 13 of a male, there is but one energy intelligence, and that is only me. In other words, no child, irrespective of what the outward appearance of his activity or her activity might appear as one that is generous, one that is sharing, one that is giving, that concept does not exist. The concept, that consciousness by a young child until the ages of 12 or 13 does not exist of sharing or giving. But if you notice at times that a child appears to be a good child, and it is a normal child, then we have to assume that the child is so far advanced that it can literally protect its internal ulterior motive as to why it is sharing and why it is doing a positive activity, etc. That's what the Zohar says. At that moment, that is the consciousness of at birth. The iu mekatreg leila banash tadir, and this will be the mekatreg. This will be that aspect of doubt, the aspect of not knowing what to do, as most of us at one time or another, depending who you are, whether it's often or it's not often, we're not sure. The reason why we are not sure is because this yetzer hara, this consciousness of negativity, is constantly there to be mekatreg, to trouble us, to confuse us. A new consciousness enters the child, the female child at 12, and the male child at 13. That is what bar mitzvah means. That now within this child, there are two consciousness. And these two aspects, these two consciousness, never leave the individual. Because the Zohar has connected and associated what we have just discussed insofar as consciousness is concerned, we now learn a new perspective as to what malachim mean. Generally, as children, we are brought up that it means angels. Angels. Are there angels? Are there angels? How do they look? How do they behave? Who are they? What are they? And how do I connect with these angels? Or maybe it's only Yaakov. You must be a Yaakov. So what purpose does the Bible serve for us today? Therefore, the Zohar goes into this discussion of consciousness. When Yaakov sent Malachim, he was preparing himself for war. Where is the war being fought? On the battlefield, or is the war being fought at headquarters? There's got to be a strategy. If there's got to be a strategy, you're talking about what? Consciousness. He figures out the whole war where? On the desk, on the table. Is that true or not? That would be a smart general. So in other words, everything that we even do in our own lifetime, it's an imbecile who goes ahead and doesn't think in advance, or the smart individual who thinks it through before. The battle that's going on between Yaakov and Esav is the battle that each and every single individual goes through each and every single day of his life. The battles of uncertainty, the battles of not knowing what to do. Now I can see maybe this is getting interesting. Now maybe even the Bible will tell me how I can win the war. Which war? My war. So it all really boils down to not what's going on outside, but what's going on inside. This is what the Zohar means by angels. So there isn't something called angels. Malachim means consciousness. That is what the Zohar says. Ba Adam litaer nichna hayesar lefanav. And if a person wants to purify himself, if he just thinks that way, nichna hayesar hara lefanav, that evil inclination, that negative cosmic thought energy, intelligence, becomes subjected. The fact that he wants to be litaher, va'yamin sholet ala smol, and then the right shall rule over the left, ushnehem. And this is the most startling declaration of the Zohar that I have ever seen. The positive, but also the negative, will also assist this individual b'kol derachav shehu holeh, in every aspect that he goes. V'zer shekatuv, and this is what it means, ki malachav yitzaveh lach lishmarcha b'chol derachecha. You shall command those angels or those consciousness or those two entities, and they shall watch you in everything that you do. When an individual is thinking in terms of what? Of sharing. Litaher. What does tahor mean? Purity. It's the opposite of tameh. When he is tahor, meaning what? When he is in a circuit of energy, when he is in a field of circuit of energy, which means what? There is sharing, there is receiving, there's a balance between the both, then these two consciousness will watch over him, says the Zohar, and nothing and nobody will ever be able to touch him. Nothing and nobody will ever be able to touch him. This is what is being discussed here. Yaakov was already, as a general would do, prepare all of his logistics before the battle. And this is what he was doing. He was contemplating. He was looking inside, not outward. He was looking within. Was he b'shleimut? Was he complete? If he was complete, then he had nothing to fear. If he was complete, if he was not complete, then what does it mean he was not complete? It means that maybe negativity within him was more pronounced. There was more activity of negativity, of ratzon lekabel, of desire to receive, more so than desire to share. Then he'd have to worry. Then he would have to worry. But as long as he could look at himself and look in the mirror and say that as much as I have asked for myself, so have I also concentrated on sharing. These two aspects, if they exist within the individual, then what had happened here can happen with everyone in his own personal life. So states the Zohar.
what Rav briefly, what Rav really explaining to us, try to really to get to us through the eyes of Kabbalist, right? Because what is really amazing about Kabbalist and knowledge of Kabbalah, Kabbalah really explain all this dimension and everything what we're going through in such a revealed, simple and deep way that we don't need to lose our time and energy and for nonsense and to go to so many different ways, to go through so much pain and suffering. Kabbalistic knowledge explained to us really how the universe works. To those of you who really new to this knowledge, Rav mentioned book of Zohar. Zohar, it's in Hebrew, it's really book of splendor. It's the book which is written in Aramaic, and this is Aramaic. It's only language not understood by angels. The Creator specifically want us to give us his this art, this work of universe. The Zohar contain all the knowledge and secret of universe, the what is really cause and effect, what is the power of stars, what is everything you can find in the Zohar. There's so much knowledge, and he's talking Rafi about the power of the Hebrew alphabet, and it's another tremendous. This is why he was reading from Hebrew, from Aramaic, from Zohar. So for us to tune in, to connect to the energy of surround light, the Or Makif, the protection as well, because our soul knows Aramaic. The whole universe created through the Aramaic letters. And the moment we're born, what Raf explained to us, right? I'm not trying to take over Raf. No, they just need to simplify to some of us. So what is the really happen the moment we're born? The Yetzirah, the other side, the evil inclination, the consciousness of negativity, it starts his process within us. The moment we're just coming out from the mother womb. So why? What is his job? His job to confuse us and to bring us to understanding of this dimension completely wrong way. Because before we coming out from our mother womb, we study inside of our mother womb about the law of universe. We have our angel who sit with us and who's teaching us Torah. Because remember, Torah, it's not just any religious Bible book. Torah is the life organism. Through the Torah, the whole universe was created. It's a coded book. We're never supposed to understand Bible directly. This is why so much misunderstanding, hatred for no reason happened, because people interpret Torah, Bible, for their own benefits in order to control people and to create religiosity, to create all the churches and nonsense in order to control people, and instead to teach people then you have a creator within you. This is what amazing about Kabbalist and about Kabbalah. Then Rav mentioned angels. Angels surround us. What is really angels according to Kabbalah? The consciousness, the ball of energy we create with our words, we create with our action. And then Rav mentioned Yaakov. Yaakov from the Bible, it's one of our prophets. If you know the tree of life, the 10 Sfirot, and many of my videos I mentioned, and if you watch my video from last year about South and North Node, where I'm explaining the secrets of the battle about Yaakov, and before he was meeting Esau, his brother, who represent left column energy, and Yaakov represent right column energy, and the battle Yaakov had with other side, with Satan. And actually, according to Sefer Yezirah, book of creation, this battle he was having with the dragon, which is have a head and tail, is the south and north node. You understand? So this is the battle we came, which is in our chart. We have this other side, the south and north node. We work with. We need to battle. And what's happened? If you watch my video last year, those lunar nodes, I explain in more details the importance of both sides we have. They're both very, very necessary. And as soon we start to work on our Yetzirah, on our other side, we have the evil inclination we have inside of us. Guess what? What Rav explained to us. The evil inclination start to, after it's challenging us, and so to say, here to confuse us even more and to bring us more doubt, especially when we start our spiritual work. Those of us who suddenly feel more urge for spirituality want really to understand how this universe works, why I'm here, what is my mission, why I came to this world in the first place. Yetzirah, the other side, comes even stronger in order to confuse us and kind of to bring us even more doubt, right? But if we're strong enough and we understand that this is the real war, war of Gog and Magog, war which is we have inside of us, and we keep to persevering, guess what? The other side have no choice as a star to support us, to support our work. This is how great the Creator is. When He see we're strong enough, we really understand our mission. The other side is Satan. He has no choice. He start to work for us. We start to control him. You understand? And this is very important point. We need to understand how powerful we are. So what does really Yaakov represent in a nutshell? He represents center column energy, the filament. He knew how to control right and left column energy. As soon we know how to balance both negative and positive side, they both equally important, because you cannot be just nice and sweet and then no, there's no work there. And you cannot be constantly negative and constantly see everything from the lack. It's all about balance in this dimension. This is the moment when we really can really activate our higher self in this dimension and connect to our center column energy. And this is what Yaakov did. This is the moment when he knew how to control this energy. He got new name, Israel, right? Because remember, Israel is the coded name, is the level of the soul we have. You don't need to be Jewish or born in Israel to have Israeli soul. Is the level of the energy of your desire to understand light and to balance this energy. This is how you can tune into this energy. You understand, guys? This is why it's really, really important. I hope my amazing teacher Raf can activate even more energy within us, can help us with this not easy but so necessary journey we're going through, each of us on our own level. Okay, guys, so I do recommend for you to listen to Raf maybe another few times, and I'm looking forward to tune into my part 2 for the 12 signs we're going to go over, and I will give you a little bit more tools, what to expect and how to be prepared, this is important. Okay, much love to you.